I don't know if I want to cry, if I want to laugh, if I want to pout. It doesn't feel like boredom. It feels like all the little things that you would normally reach for to change so you can continue finding that creative inspiration, or that creative. It's like it's hard for you to even put it into words, isn't it, Taurus? I feel like you're trying to find a new source outside of pain to create from, which means you reached a level of peace. And when you reach this level of peace where drama doesn't find you, issues don't find you, you really are at a phase in your life where you don't give a fuck. And it may come off like you're emotionless, but I feel like you actually experience a range of emotions, and because you experience a range of emotions on a regular, in order for you to do express your artistry, in order for you to express your painting, your singing, your craft, your gift, you have to use a range of emotions, highs and lows. You have to reach when there's no reason to reach for something deeper, something more. And I feel like you have to generate it for yourself because you're really at a place of peace. But nonetheless, you still are an artist, and you still are an artist that always wants to perfect their craft, wants to orchestrate a masterpiece, wants to build something, create something. And it's not busy work. I feel like the most busy work is picking out your new microphone. You know what I'm saying? The most busy work is trying to find a new gadget to kind of make your shit more crisp, more different, okay, more vast. And so it's like now you have to like rejoin society so you can find inspiration. It reminds me of that movie. I'm not saying that you're her, but what I'm saying is it reminds me of that movie Abigail. And like she was so bored with the mundane. She had nothing but time on her hands. She lived for so long, learned everything, read every book, traveled far yonder. And so she got to the point where she staged her own kidnapping. And she pretty much she set it up for herself to be able to do something for a long period of time. So if we take that same concept and we apply it into something that you're doing, you may have like a 2-part series. You know what I'm saying? You may be writing a book, and you've given yourself a storyline, and so the story doesn't run dry. You're constantly adding new sequels. You know what I'm saying? I imagine that this is something that the writers of the Hunger Game had to think of. And let me tell you something. The Hunger Games was a beast. So like all the great architects of the world, this message is for you guys. The ones that you create from your home, you barely leave your home. It's not about the money as to why you do it. It's about creating a thoughtful piece of work. You know what I'm saying? Something that was was so precise. The layout was so precise. The way it was constructed was so precise. The way it was built was so grand that you got to have a great mind to really understand your thought process or your psyche or the range of emotions or the tempo that you were going for. And to everyone else that don't know you, they clock you like, oh, you're emotionally avoidant, or you don't have emotions. And it's like, I put my heart and my soul and my emotions in everything I do. How can you tell me I don't have emotions? I am a walking emotion. I walk with emotion every day. I feel shit every day, and then I channel it into thought and words and creative expression, or I build something. They'll never understand you. Hold on. So, in so many words, let's just say you are working on your next masterpiece. You are in the lab, you're in the kitchen, and this next season is calling for you to go to a space that you're no longer in anymore. And I don't mean a physical space, right? I mean, what's needed from you, what's required from you, is for you to be able to reach people in a certain space. Okay? So like, you need to be able to grasp their intention so you can influence them. Right? If you're an artist, you need to be able to really go to that place of pain and be able to turn it down a little bit and be able to capture just how painful something is, and then translate it into a song, translate it into words that really allow the person, the collective, to feel seen, heard, felt, experienced. Like you know them. You got to dig deep from the diaphragm to pull this type of level of, could be depression. I don't really feel like it's like loss. It's grief. And it's really difficult to articulate grief unless you're grieving, right? And if you're not there anymore, you can't really sit in it, so you got to observe it. And then if you observe it, you can feel heavy. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're in it, you don't feel heavy. You know what I'm saying? When you're going through it, you don't feel like, you don't have that imposter syndrome. But when you're not going through it, you feel like you're just dirty. You know, I'm not saying like people are going through shit just dirty. I'm saying you feel like you're getting your hands dirty. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're at the hospital, you're dealing with germs all day, right? You're getting your hands dirty. But you have to get in there and you have to get into the pain and you have to empathize with people all day. And so I really see whether you're an actor playing a role that is very heavy and is very deep, you're going to need therapy, you're going to need support, and you're going to need to be able to review your lines and really make it thoughtful, make it precise. I feel like what you're really trying to do is not so much as waddle in the mess, but it's like you want to apply a layer of hope. After something that's very raw and very real, you want to leave with a sequel of hope. And I feel like Spirit is giving you the confirmation in this reading, like, yes, really go into the pain, but don't forget to add the moral to the story. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget to land what it's like when you come out of it. Like, I feel like there's a collective of people that really want to feel like, yeah, I've been there to the deep depths of pain and I've been to the highs of highs, but no one really captures the process of the transition throughout a phase. We wait until we're where we want to be in life to start sharing things. We don't really capture the growing pains that comes along with it because you're at your most vulnerable. So as a collective, as a whole, you're going to start seeing how the transition of losing weight is something that is shared vulnerably in a way where you allow yourself to feel embarrassed and humiliated in the transition of acquiring that accomplishment. If you're training for a marathon, you're documenting the process because there's going to be a collective of people that need to know what it looks like to go through a transition, not just be in that phase or this phase. I hope that makes sense because that's the channel message that I'm getting. If that's you and this resonates with you, welcome back to our Secret Love Nest. Taurus, TT here. I was going to say it. TT here. No, TT calling with another channel message. You almost got me. You got to be slicker than that. Okay. You almost got it to roll off my tongue. But no. That may be a gift that you have where people just naturally want to tell you everything that they're feeling, thinking. You know how to just extract it out of a person? No, sorry, Bobbit. You're finna catch me. Independence in reverse. Detachment. What are we doing here? You're putting on a masterpiece. You're performing a masterpiece, a show. And I think you got somebody in mind here with independence in reverse. Whoever you are, you're a very intriguing person. Very intriguing. With all this precision, with all this calculation, with all this energy, nothing is really, it's like, how can I acquire this? How can I get this? I'm seeing someone with like very intense eyes, like with the way that they look through you. I feel like you have very intense eyes where it speaks for you. I wouldn't say it's hypnotic or hypnotizing because that's not your intention. It's inviting. You invite people to divulge. You invite people to relieve themselves of having to be so strong all the time, to relieve themselves from the pressure, the mental pressure. You give people a moment to just lay all their cards on the table. It's like everyone needs somebody. It's okay. But you don't say it with your words, you say it here. You say it here, and how you know that someone is connected to you is they become like your radio reception. You know what I'm saying? Your radio receptor. They'll start just saying, fidgeting as well. Saying things and doing things answering your questions. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for someone that's capable of keeping you puzzled because you're very thoughtful and precise. So the more mental challenge, the more you gotta have it. You know what I'm saying? Cause you're like a detective yourself, you know? You like to be able to read between the lines and it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what you like. But you know what I feel like too? I feel like the closer I get to you. Am I telling your age? The more you make me feel. By giving me all you've got. Come on now. Your love over and over again. I try to tell myself that we could never be more than friends. And all the world inside. Don't be trying to sing with me, okay? I knew it was. Okay, I'm done. Stop. Y'all are catching me in rare form. But seriously, you may get this a lot where people tell you that when they're involved with you or when they deal with you, they may start to feel like they've become 2.0 version of you. You know? It's like, what are you doing to me? What are you doing to me? And it's like, just let it happen. Don't fight the feeling. You feel it. You know what that is. Let it happen. Let it come over you. And you love the detached ones. Ooh. I heard a viper. You love the detached ones that swear they don't need nobody. They don't want nobody. You love getting those ones to fold on themselves. You like folding people and getting them hooked on you. Especially the ones that you want to build a foundation with. So what does that got to do with the price of tea in China, Spirit? What are we doing? Because clearly we talking to the damn. You see the photo? You're fucking fold my card. You see this shit? My cards, they never fold. And I was just talking about this the other day. And this is my succulent card. You like to make the hard ones fold, don't you? Some of y'all Tauruses, you got hooked on phonics by one of these ones here. But this is a type. Okay. Do you feel like this is being done to you? Oh, I know what this is. You're on the fence. You're scared. Yeah, you're scared. You know what you're scared of? You're scared that your mojo may get canceled out by someone else's mojo. And that is scary to you because you ain't never found nobody that could do what you do. It's only been one of you. It reminds me of that part in, what was it, Lucifer, where, what did he say to her? It's when he finally let himself indulge in the detective, and then he went to someone else and was like, working his mojo. He was like, what's your desires? Even if you're not saying it like out loud, maybe you're saying it in your head. You know how I explained the gift earlier, and because you don't even have to do a lot of talking. People just tell you their deepest, darkest fears, their deepest, darkest desires, and you hold space for those people. The mentally, the undead. You give peace and rest to people that refuse to let themselves indulge or whatever, or be honest or find peace with it. So long story short, they indulge, right? And then he goes, I think the detective stole my mojo. And she was like, so then he was seeing the therapist, and she was like, why do you feel like she stole your mojo? And he was like, because it's not working. But then everybody was telling her their desires. And so he was feeling like she took his gift. But really, it was something that he had to work out on his own. It was nothing. It was never anything that she could take from him. It was something that he had to, if he believed that he was losing it, he was losing it. If anything that he believed, it was coming true. That was the moral of that story, is that's how powerful his mind was, and he constructed it as he went about his day, especially when it came to his self perception and the imposter syndrome that he suffered from a lot. The changes were he was just on the fence about it. And that's why he never really got involved in relationships. You know what I'm saying? He was in love before, but he really didn't fool around with that relationship stuff. So, I really feel like that's kind of like someone is saying, like, I feel tired. I feel like if you've been feeling like, I feel tired, I don't feel like myself, I feel like my mojo's off, I feel like I don't really have, my thoughtful, my witty energy, how precise I usually am. I'm in my feelings, and when I get in my feelings, it fucks with my money. If you feel like that, and you feel like it's because you're giving too much intention or too much focus to someone else or something like that, I feel like it's a message about you, about something that you need to see about yourself. Yeah. You have some type of imposter syndrome. For me, with this attachment, it's like, what's on me? What is this? And I really feel like with this attachment card, it's pretty much saying none of it's connected. Something about kinetic could be significant. None of it's connected. Like nothing is being done to you. You're not being punished. What's happening is you feel yourself falling in love with someone. And like the Grinch that stole Christmas, your heart is beating. And who would have thought someone would turn that on for you? Who would have thought? You put yourself on ice. And with attachment energy, it's like, wait a minute, am I getting attached? Am I looking forward? Am I checking my notifications? What are you doing to me? And it's like, no one's doing nothing to you. No one's doing nothing to you. You want to be connected to someone. Look at that. I feel it. The heart is palpitating. Okay. You want to be connected to somebody. High priestess, I'm telling you. Do you see that? High priestess and attachment. This is saying, I see you. Okay. The Lovers card. There go the Fool energy. I'm finna be a fool for you. So it's like I feel like it may start off like resisting until you can't resist it anymore, till you can't take it anymore. It's gonna make you cranky. Six of Wands. So this is channeling that obsession and that desire to have something, to indulge in something or someone, and like, no, I'm gonna ignore that temptation. Nope, I'm not attaching myself to nothing. Nope. This is the freest my energy has ever been. Nope. I'm gonna chase my dreams. But the Emperor in reverse is pretty much saying this is a power struggle you're having here. And the power struggle is yourself against your desires, okay? It's your mind against your heart. This is a power struggle that's happening internally. Because ultimately, when you set out the intention to give love and express love and show support or whatever, you did it with the intention purely. And if you believe that in order for you to give that to someone else, that it's going to take away from your money because you're in your feelings, it's like, that's not the case, but only you can see that for yourself. The honoring path here in power, so no one has power over you. I really feel like you need to watch the show Lucifer or something like that. No one has power over you. Nothing can stop your mojo, stop your bag, stop your money. You may feel like someone is going to do that if you let them, but I feel like it's, with the attachment card here, it's your higher self making you aware that you're in love. There is no other way to say that. You're someone that is completely career driven, not focusing on relationships, is in love. You're fucking in love. Say what you want. This person is not betraying you. Ten of Swords in reverse. They're not the end of you. Death in reverse. Only you can be the end of you. And how you are supposed to go out with this bang is you conquering. You conquering your own ego. You conquering the beast in you. And not allowing the beast to tell you what to do. It's like you're in the beast is like, let me out. And you're like, no, stay in there. You only get us in trouble. Knight of Wands. But look at you. Ooh. That Knight of Wands is not knocking at my window. The Knight of Wands. It's like you're trying to be noble, do the right thing. With the High Priestess, it's like, put all that into my career, put all that into my work. Remain detached. Oh my God, I'm hearing a song. Let's give it ice cold. But these are all the messages that I have for you guys, Taurus. I want to thank you for loving me, supporting me, and accepting me wholeheartedly as I am. Thank you for all the likes, super chats. Is it super chats? Yes. Comments that I get to read each and every single day. I truly appreciate each and every single one of you. May all of that love be multiplied abundantly over your life. TT out.